welcome back to my channel. My name is Addie, and today we are doing my favorite video to do, which is my October TBR. And the time has finally come. I'm just so excited for it to be October. It's my birthday month, it's Halloween month, it's the best fall month. Like, it's just the best month of the year, and it's finally here, and I'm so excited. There are genuinely so many books that I accumulate throughout the year that I'm like, oh, I'll read this in October. Oh, this will be a perfect October read. And then I get to October and I'm like, I bought too many books. For this TBR, I thought that we could go through my shelves together and pick each book out as a group, because I have a few ideas, 4 books that I know I want to read, and then I am hoping to read 9, so then we can go through and pick the 5. So let's start with the 4 that I know I'm going to set aside. I am reading the Harry Potter series right now. I don't want to include any of these in the reading vlog because I don't want to promote J.K. Rowling, because I don't think that she aligns with what I want to promote on this channel. But I did thrift these books and I've never read them. And when I was in the classroom for teaching, so many students were reading these and I kind of wanted to like understand and be able to talk to them about it. So I'm on the 6th one, so I am going to read the 6th book, but I don't want to like promote that I'm reading it, but I thought I'd include it in the TBR video if anyone was interested. I want to read part 2 of Oathbringer. I finished part 1 last month and I was so excited because I finally started The Beast and it left on a massive cliffhanger, so I definitely need to read the next part. I'm also, each part is like a full-length book, so I'm splitting it up that way, so I'm just gonna read part 2 and counting it as a book. I also read The Prison Healer last month by Lynette Noni, and I would like to read the second one. I believe it's called The Gilded Cage. If anyone's read that, even if you haven't read it, all anyone talks about is the crazy ending for The Prison Healer. So definitely want to read that one. Another book that I know is on my list that has not come yet is Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier. I think is how you pronounce her last name. Maurier. I read Jane Eyre last month and I absolutely loved it. So I'm definitely in like my classic gothic era right now. Also, it was my goal to read 2 classics this year and I read 1 and I have to read 2. That's like a goal that like I'm not letting myself skimp on, because my huge goal for this year was to really expand my reading. But I do feel like Rebecca is a perfect October read. It is a classic gothic novel. I believe it is about a woman who marries like this perfect guy, and when she gets back to his like estate, she doesn't realize like how much of an impact or a shadow that his late wife still has over the place. And I think it's going to be a really tie into like jealousy, possessiveness. It's kind of like the ghost of his wife. I hope it's a real ghost. That would be really cool, but I don't have the highest hopes for that, but I do think it'll be gothic and I'm very excited about that. So Rebecca is the 4th book. So now that that's all out of the way, the books that I know are on the list, let's get into pulling aside the spooky reads. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna pull out a ton of books and set them right here, and then we'll narrow it down together. Let's see. Let's start with the book cart. The one book, The Invocations by Crystal Sutherland. This one I feel like I have to read in October. It's very Halloween-y. Let's put her aside. That's definitely a high likelihood. Possibly Calabasas. I feel like the dark academia of it is giving fall, Halloween. Less certain about this one. Oh my gosh, I have so many spooky reads. Like I'm like looking at it now and I'm like having to narrow it down in my head before proceeding, because I can barely read 6 books in a month, so I don't know where I'm getting 9, but we're gonna persist. Next is Starling House. I've had this on my TBR for a very long time. It's literally collecting dust. Oh my god. This book needs some love. So we have Wild Reverence. This isn't one I feel like I have to read in October. I definitely want to read it. I'm feeling like a fantasy. I feel like Road of Bones I've had on my TBR for a little bit. I don't know. I feel like this could be a November read. This one has to be read in October. It's called Halloween Party. This is by Agatha Christie. I've read Agatha Christie before. I really love her. So I am fairly certain I'm gonna love this, and I definitely need to read it this fall. This one is probably like a very must that's happening. So let's move to the shelves. Let's stand up, shall we? I know there's one on here that I want to read. Oh, here she is. There's actually a few, but I'm gonna take one. And that book is The Institute by Stephen King. I love Stephen King. I've read 3 of his books. I want to say maybe 2. I don't know. 2 or 3. I've really loved all of them. This is one of his newer ones, which I've only read his older ones, so I'm definitely interested to see how they change. Also, my mom is obsessed with the series, and she's obsessed with the show. There's nothing I love more than talking to my mom about books, so I probably will read this one. Also, I love Stephen King. If you've been around here for a while, you guys know I love Stephen King. All right, let's move to this shelf. There probably isn't any on here. It's mostly romance. Just not my vibe this month, unfortunately. I did just read a really good romance though. That'll be in the fall. That'll be in the September wrap up. Actually, it might be in the vlog first. All right, let's see. There's the spell book of Katrina Van Tassel, which is the story of Sleepy Hollow. I love the Legend of Sleepy Hollow. It's one of my favorite like tales, and I get very excited about it, and it's very fall. Pretty certain will make it on the TBR. Oh my god, this is already getting like so many books, and I need to narrow it down to 5. It's crazy. I'm getting a little stressed out. Sometimes I have to remind myself like it's just like it's books. Like what? And it's like my hobby. Like why am I getting stressed? Like why am I getting myself worked up over this? Okay, I have 3 in a row here. I have Once and Future Witches by Alex Hierro. I have 2 Alex Hierros on here. Definitely gonna narrow it down to 1. I bought this book for October, but you know what? I bought this book for October like 2 years ago, so I feel like this needs to be read first, and when I'm yearning for October and November, this might be the move. I also have One Dark Window. I read my first Rachel Gillig, The Moth, and The Night and the Moth, and I enjoyed it. I loved the gothic vibes. Wasn't my favorite fantasy in the world, no, but I loved like the gothicness of it, and there's a Talking Gargoyle that I loved, so I'm definitely intrigued to read her other series, which I'm had this forever. So I think it's been on every October TBR for like the last like 2 or 3 years. Maybe this will be the one. This is another one I bought for October, which was The Late Night Witches by Raleigh Wallace. You guys know I love Raleigh Wallace. She wrote that, oh gosh, what's it called? I can never remember the name of this book for as much as I love it. It was a 5-star read. Oh my god, this is gonna bug me. What is it? In the Company of Witches. Oh my god. I know that. I knew that. But I love those books, and she has a new book, and look at all the Halloween stuff on it. Like this has to be read in Halloween. Look at this little cat. It looks like my cat Winston, if you guys have seen him on the back, and I love him so much. Oh yeah, this totally looks like little Winnie. Adding it to the list. And let's move down. We're gonna get down to the lower shelves now. We have A Discovery of Witches, which I wasn't planning on putting in the TBR, but I've had it on my TBR for a long time, so I think it deserves to at least be in the stack. This is like getting crazy. Fairytale was another, it's like a very gothic fantasy. I feel it's really long though. And then the bottom shelf, the only one that like I would really feel like would fit the vibe of this TBR is Leigh Bardugo, The Familiar. I love Leigh Bardugo, and I can't believe I haven't read this yet. And I do know this is a fantasy, like gothic, dark academia, I believe, during the Spanish Golden Age, which is a fabulous era. So I don't know what to do with this. I'm gonna put aside the ones that I know I really want to read. The Late Night Witches is definitely one. You know what? I've pondered for a minute, because there are 6 books on here that I really know I want to read. I usually try to continue 3 series in a month. I might make an exception for my birthday month. I think I'm gonna put aside the 6th Harry Potter and narrow it to 2 series that I'm continuing, so then I can pick 6 of these books that I really want to read. Why am I being dramatic? I don't know. I'm acting like breaking my own rule is gonna get me in trouble. Like, this is crazy. So these 4 books, just looking at them, I can't decide. I can't decide which one to eliminate, because I know that I really want to read The Invocations. But out of these 4 and this one, I don't want to bend on any of them. Unfortunately, One Dark Window gets saved for another day. This could be a November read though, because November is still fall. It's darker than October because it's like colder and drearier. So this can be saved. I feel like with how many books I set aside for this, you guys already know what my November TBR is gonna look like. The Familiar, it's honestly just not sticking out to me all that much right now. Fairytale, it's really long, and it's not like explicitly needs to be read in October. Like some of these, it's like, it genuinely just doesn't make sense to read it any other month. And I think that's where I'm getting. Like Calabasas, I could read any month. But The Invocations, this is an October read. It's set like on Halloween, I fear. I've read the first page of this multiple times. And I'm like, wait, I can't read this right now. Yeah, the first line is, a girl walks home alone at night. It's All Hallows Eve in London. It's Halloween. I can't not read it in Halloween. I'm honestly really proud of myself for narrowing it down. So let's go through the TBR with a little bit more depth. The first book is The Invocations by Crystal Sutherland. I absolutely loved House of Hollow, and as you guys will see in my next reading vlog, I've been really into like the YA horror genre recently, so I would love to read her other book. And House of Hollow, like, I still think about. I read it years ago. It was so good. It was so good. So I've heard phenomenal things about this. This one follows 3 girls with one supernatural killer on the loose, and I'm very intrigued. Then I decided on the spell book of Katrina Van Tassel by Alyssa Palumbo. I actually picked this up like a month ago, perfect October read, and I'm trying to like stick to that. Also, I love Sleepy Hollow. I love anything regarding the Washington Irving story. I've read so many versions of it, and when I saw this in Barnes, I knew it was like an instant like, you're coming on with me. This is actually in the perspective of Katrina, Von Tassel, who is Ichabod Crane's like love interest. It ends in various different ways depending on which version you read, but this one, when on All Hallows Eve, when Ichabod Crane disappears, as we know, due to the Headless Horseman, Katrina is alone in a perilous situation, so she enlists the help of her friend, who is a rumored witch, to seek out the truth of his disappearance. So I'm really excited because I don't usually read a perspective of Katrina, and I feel like that will be really interesting. So I'm very, very excited to read yet another version of The Legend of Sleepy Hollow. The Institute was one that I knew I had to read this month because I really want to talk to my mom about it. I want to read another Stephen King novel, and I want to watch the show. Oh, this is Minneapolis. He's usually a Maine guy, so that'll be fun. Ooh, one of the New York Times said it might be Stephen King's scariest novel yet. That's great for living by myself. This is a great month. Like, I get so excited about these horror reads, but like last night I was reading a horror and I was like, every little noise, I was like, oh my god, I'm scared. So I believe this one follows this, I honestly have this I heard from my mom. I believe this one follows Luke, and he's a little boy. His parents were murdered in the middle of the night, and he is taken to this institute for children with special abilities. I don't believe it's a nice institution. They killed his parents and stole him out of his bed. I don't believe this is like a letter from Hogwarts situation. So I guess no one really ever returns from this but Luke trying to find a way out. But this sounds really good. This is one of the longer of his books that I've read. It's newer, one of the newer ones that I've read. This came out in 2019, and I've only read his books from like the 80s and 90s, like Pet Sematary, The Mist. So I'm intrigued to see how his like writing style has changed. The next book on the list is Halloween Party by Agatha Christie. This is another Hercule, oh my god, why can't I say this name? Hercule Poirot. That's so butchered, it's so bad. But I've read it like 1 or 2 of the Hercule Poirot mystery series, and they can be read in kind of whenever. It's just like this one guy solving mystery after mystery. Is this a classic? Am I gonna read 3 classics? I don't know. I think Agatha Christie is considered classics, but I don't know if this one is specifically. So this one is obviously set at a Halloween party, and the 13-year-old comes and says she saw someone be murdered, but no one believes her. She's like 13. Also, I feel like 13 is like too old to be lying about this. I'm like, if a 13-year-old told me that they saw someone being murdered, I would not be like, haha, you stupid child. Like, that is old enough to like not lie about that. But they don't believe her. But then a few hours later, a body shows up. I wonder why. Now Hercule Poirot is on the case, and it all happens at a Halloween party. So I'm very excited to read this. I really do like Agatha Christie. I feel like her mysteries are always a good time, and they're short and they're sweet, so I'm excited to get to this one. So I had to decide between the 2 Alex E. Harrow books, and I ended up going with Starling House because honestly I've just had it for so long and I've wanted to read it for so long. It's time. It's time to get it up to TBR, and I'll definitely read Once and Future Witches probably this year, not next year. This is a modern gothic fantasy. If you haven't noticed, I'm in a big gothic phase right now. Like a big one. I love my gothic reads recently. Don't know much about this one. All I know is that our main character, Opal is also the name of the app that I use to restrict my TikTok time like I'm a baby with it needing screen time limitations. But honestly, it's helped my reading a lot. I recommend the Opal app. I love it. Anyway, Opal, who is obsessed with the Starling house. Starling is an author who disappeared like 100 years ago. She lived in this house, and when she died, it left like all these very dark rumors. 100 years later, Opal gets a chance to go into Starling house. She gets a chance to go in because she's raising money for her brother's like escape fund. I don't know what that's about. I'm sure I'll find out. But sinister forces are at work in Starling House. I don't want to give too much away for myself, but I'm so excited about this one. I've heard really phenomenal things about it. Oh, stop. You guys know I love illustrations in books. It adds so much. It literally adds a world to the story. And I don't need like pictures every page. I don't need that. I just want like every maybe like chapter or 2, a little illustration of like the very important bits. It adds so much like the atmosphere of a book. I love it so much. And then the last book, obviously I had to read this month is The Late Night Witches by Riley Wallace, simply because it's a Halloween read. I have a tradition, and every year I read a witchy romance for Halloween, and it's just, I've done it since high school. It says on the front that this is a love story, and you know what, that is more than anything, this is a love story. I don't know if it's gonna be romantic love, but it's love, and that's good enough for me. This one follows Cassie Beckett, who is a witch. She's not too thrilled about the witching month of October. That makes one of us. She's on the foggy Prince Edward Island, which is the perfect place to be in October. I don't know what she's complaining about. But then vampires arrive. Vampires and witches coming together in one is my perfect read. So Riley Wallace, I'm sure, is gonna kill it again. But to slay the vampires, she must learn how to be a witch and how to fight for what she loves before time runs out. And I'm very excited. And one of the reviews on the New York Times says, "You'll fall deeply in love with this enchanting and cozy book, so much that you want to return to it every fall just to experience it again." And that's always what I'm looking for in one of these cozy fall reads. I'm gonna look on Goodreads and see if it's classified as a romance, because I'm very curious. It's more so marketed as a fantasy, but that is okay. One of the top comments on Goodreads says, "Buffy the Vampire Slayer meets practical magic." I love Buffy the Vampire Slayer, so I'll take your word for it, reviewer, because I love this. And then, of course, the rest of the books we already kind of chatted about. I've got Oathbringer Part 2. This one is like a non-negotiable. Like, I really want to finish this by the end of the year. And then we have The Gilded Cage by Lynette Noni. I'm very excited to continue on with that series. And then we have Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier, and I'm very excited about that one as well. Finally, I'll have completed one of my goals for this year, which will be fabulous. So this is the final October TBR. I'm so excited about it. I always look so forward to the October TBR because these are always end up being my favorite reads of the year. Actually, last October was kind of a flop, but it was because I was stressed out. When am I not stressed out? But I was especially stressed out because I just started going to school here. But now, like, I'm used to it. I feel like I've like settled into a routine. So I'm very excited about these, and I cannot wait to get to them. Let me know in the comments if there's anyone specifically you would like to see in a reading vlog, or any fall related reading vlogs you would like to see specifically. I would love to hear it. I want to hear which ones you guys want to know more in depth about, and I'll obviously make those a priority. But that brings us to the end of today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this type of TBR style video. I thought it was really fun to like go through them together and kind of like bring you guys through like my thought process when picking a TBR, which is so jumbled and doesn't make sense at all. But I hope like the chaoticness made sense to you guys, but I hope you guys enjoyed, and if you want to see more of my videos, please like, comment, and subscribe. I'm trying so hard to be consistent, and I will be consistent. Also, if you want to follow any of my other socials, those are linked in the description, but I'm very much most active here. But thank you guys so much again for watching this week's video, and I hope you guys have a fabulous week and a fabulous spooky season of reading, and I can't wait to see you guys in the next one. Bye!